and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Battle Series, the School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Basketball Ladder, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule sets of the VGC 2019 season. So a little bit of Scottish creeping in there. But we kicked off this week in yesterday's episode with this Xerneas team. As I said yesterday, it's a little bit standard from, like, it's not anything, like, obscure or anything like that. We know what it's going to do, but, like, it's good to play the standard stuff early on. I think the next team that will probably feature is going to be Kyogre, but it's nice to start with Groudon, and obviously Xerneas as well. Everyone knows what Xerneas is, and it's good to play it on the channel so you guys get to see how people are playing with it, what to expect when you go up against it, and things like that, and what it's capable of as well. We're running a slower, bulkier Xerneas in this team, which is a little bit interesting. You can go the standard, just timid 252, 252, or little variants around that, but I've decided to go with a bold one in this team. It takes a lot more hits, gives you a little bit more leverage in getting the Geomancy set up and getting more kind of bang for your buck, almost, if we want to say it like that. Once you've got the boosts up and you can get the damage out and things like that. We've got nice support cast in Smeargle and Incineroar with the fake out there. Got Tapu Koko to help with the opposing sleep and things like that. Bronzong's obviously our Trick Room setter, and Groudon's our big Trick Room demolition truck thing that it does. Anyway, hopefully it doesn't take too long to find an opponent. As always, if you enjoy the content though, guys, please leave a like on the video. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. We do have, like I mentioned in yesterday's episode, that we will be doing lots of guides on the channel, so keep an eye out for those. I'm going to do all of the restricted Pokemon in the Sun series, so just it will be relating to just Sun series, and then we will move on when the new format is introduced in the new year, and we'll do another set of guides for that, and then so on for the next one after that. So we've got Harcourt as our first opponent of the day, and I don't know if this is, I don't know, I'm not going to say anything, but they are playing a team of Smeargle, Tapu Koko, Groudon, Amoonguss, Xerneas, and Bronzong. So going for a similar sort of style to what we are playing with that Groudon Bronzong. The Trick Room is going to be set up, Gravity is going to be set up, and then we're going to see lots of sleep spam. So it's a good thing that one of us probably wants to bring Tapu Koko to stop all that sleep spam. I feel like I want to bring it because otherwise we can kind of get ran over by Trick Room sleep and things like that. So just having Tapu Koko in our team, it's going to be a nice, like, it doesn't really do much against the opposing team though. That's the only thing that's putting me off, like, literally. I kind of feel like Smeargle Xerneas isn't a bad lead here. We've got the fake out support, very worst we speed tie with the opposing Smeargle. We can spore things. We can't spore the Amoonguss, unfortunately, so we will need to bring something to kind of get around that. The Amoonguss is probably the biggest threat to everything, so I'd probably want to bring Groudon, Incineroar in the back. We've got enough to kind of counteract the Xerneas if it's going to set up. We've got Roar on Incineroar. Rah! So we've got the tools to do the job. It's just whether or not leaving Tapu Koko here is a bad idea. And there's a part of me that says yes, but there's a part of me that says we're literally bringing it for the terrain. Outside of that, it's not going to be doing very much. It doesn't hit Groudon for very good damage. Well, literally, Dazzling Gleam's not going to be doing very much. We are threatened by Precipice Blades. It's not going to be doing too much to Xerneas. We can't stop it really setting up either. It's not going to be doing much to the Amoonguss. The Smeargle could hit, but anything can hit Smeargle for good damage. So it's a little bit awkward. Let's hope we haven't got the white screen of death. It seems like it's doing something. Why is it doing this? It's my DS. It's not the laptop. My poor MacBook. We'll leave it alone. It is going to be relieved of its duties very soon, as I mentioned again in yesterday's episode. I keep referring back to yesterday's episode, but a lot was said there. So I have ordered a new actual setup. We've lost communication. Which is awesome. Which is always the way you want to start an episode. So hopefully we find a similar matchup going into the rest of the games. At least it wasn't on our end, but sadly it was on my opponent's. But yes, like I was saying, I've ordered a new PC, so it means video quality is going to be better. We're going to be able to do a lot more, be able to actually record the game sound from my capture card, because the Mac variant of the capture card software won't allow you to capture the music, whereas the PC will. So that makes it a lot better to start with. Streaming also going to be amazingly good now, so it's excellent. Right, we've got our first opponent, next opponent, not disconnected opponent of the day. We're going up against Milo, and I'm playing a team of Groudon, Ludicolo, Cresselia, Tabulele, Kyogre, and Ferrothorn. Looks a lot like what Aaron was bringing on his showdown battle videos. So we've got the dual primals. Well, they're not dual primals, are they? They're kind of fake dual primals with Groudon. They've got both weather control. You've got the Ludicolo that can help support that as well. Cresselia going to be the speed control on the team. Gonna have to be a bit careful, because I kind of think it's either going to be Scarf Kyogre or Scarf Lele. Kind of sway more towards Scarf Lele and then the Ferrothorn, which is going to be a pain. Kind of indicates that I really want to bring Groudon and Incineroar to this match. Maybe Xerneas Smeargle isn't a bad lead here. If we don't see the rain, then I don't see what's kind of stopping us there. It's just a case that if we go down that route and we don't bring Incineroar, I feel like we need Incineroar to help with just board positioning, intimidate support. The weather, it means we leave Bronzong, so our speed control is gone. But I think we can do stuff without it. So let's go into it. Like Smeargle Xerneas here seems like pretty good. The Ferrothorn's going to be a bit awkward to play around if we get set up. Obviously it's something we have to worry about. But this Xerneas can take a Gyro Ball after the boost, so we know we've got that buffer to kind of fall back on, so it's not too bad. Let's go Milo, Kyogre, Ludicolo, the lead that we didn't want to see. So, not ideal, but still not the worst. Still not the worst. So, we're going to see the rain summoned to the field. We're going to see Ludi's going to be the fastest thing with that Swift Swim ability. It's going to be threatening with Fake Out, of course. Do I just protect Xerneas and bring in Groudon for Smeargle? It's not a bad idea. Get rid of the weather, get the weather in our favour, and then the next turn I can potentially Geomancy, switch Groudon out and Smeargle back in, so we've got that Fake Out support still intact, and then go from there. Like, Groudon's bulky enough in the sun to take multiple attacks from both Ludi and Kyogre, so it's fine. We've got the Pinch Berry. If we get into too much of a sticky situation, that Pinch Berry should kick in. It didn't kick in like we wanted it to in yesterday's episode, but you can't have everything. We do see a Water Spout come out from the Kyogre, and takes us down about just below 50% with that Groudon, which is fine. But it does mean, like I said before, we are able to get that Geomancy boost up now, and I'm going to switch right back out into Smeargle. So, Kyogre, yeah, withdraws. Yeah, my opponent wanted to make sure that they've got full throw on the weather control, but we'll do the same. So we've got that option to bring in whenever we want. We get Smeargle back in. And we're going to get the Geomancy up, which is always the big thing that we want to be able to do going into every match. The Xerneas spread, so it's very bulky. It takes a lot of attacks, takes a lot of big threatening attacks. It's speed, it's not the fastest, but it will outspeed Ludicolo in rain, and Modest Ludi, max speed. See what this Ludi goes for. Grass Knot into the Smeargle. Yeah. So, okay. Got a few options here. I think I could just Dazzle. Honestly, Dazzle, and I could Transform. Ha! Now that wouldn't be bad, would it? That would be alright. Because I know we take an attack from the Ferrothorn. Unless it's like Life Orb, which I very much doubt it is. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go for the Transform. Like, we could have been a bit safer here. We got the Fake Out to support us. Ludicolo's going to withdraw. Going to see Tabulele come in. Alright, trying to get around that Fake Out, but that's fine. So, if we're sitting at the end of this turn with two Xerneas on the field, I think we're going to be alright. So there's the first Dazzle. Doesn't do a lot to the Ferrothorn, but... Ooh, and that's a crit. So there's the Transform. Into Xerneas, we have two. What's better than one? Geomancy Xerneas, 2 Geomancy Xerneas. And there's the Gyro Ball. Like I say, we do take that quite comfortably as well. Ferrothorn revealing its leftovers, but we can just Dazzle and Moonblast, or we can Moonblast and Dazzle. Yeah, like we Dazzle with something and Moonblast. We'd probably Moonblast and just Dazzle with a Smeargle. With a little Smeargle. So we'll be able to get rid of the Lele. The Ferrothorn could only, if it does survive, it can only get rid of one of our Xerneas at the moment. So that's a nice thing going for us, and that's why the Transforming Smeargle's like super nice. It's a super nice option if you get into a position where you can get it off, because it really makes like cleaning your opponent's board position so much easier. And like I say, you put 1 Xerneas, what's better than 1 Xerneas? 2 Xerneas. It's like the Xerneas channel. We're getting close to Christmas, so we're getting in that Christmas spirit, getting the reindeer out. Lele gonna protect. For all the good it's gonna do, Lele. Oh, double protect. Wow, okay. So, just counting out what we're gonna do. Okay. I guess Ferrothorn probably wants to protect here. You kind of want to get a bit more health back if you can with the leftovers. So, it's not the most exaggerated play at all. It makes a lot more sense. But we'll just do the same again. Moonblast and Dazzle. And let's hope it's enough. I don't think it's going to be enough to take down the Ferrothorn, to be honest. From that, like the Dazzling Gleam was a crit, so it did nowhere near as much damage as I kind of expected to. So it's probably got a little bit of bulk behind it. Ally Switch. Oh. Now, the Smeargle will go first, so we will Dazzle. So that, again, the Ally Switch, losing friends for no reason at all. Not really going to make any difference to us here. And then the Moonblast going to come out into the Ferrothorn, so... Is it enough? Oh, it's not quite enough, and that was a crit! Wow, okay man, that is crazy. And he's going to take down our Xerneas. How sad, how sad. Okay, so we're going to see, I think we'll probably see... What do we see, what do we see, what do we see? I think we see Ludi come in here for sure. I don't think you switch in Kyogre now. Like, oh, you do. Like, I would have always thought, like, leave Kyogre, but like we've got the option now just to Moonblast and just like Flare Blitz the Ferrothorn. So, and then we, like, even when Ludi comes in, we still got Groudon in the back to get rid of the big thing. Like Xerneas, as long as we take out this Kyogre, which I'm pretty certain we're going to take down the Kyogre. Plus 2 Moonblast. I know Smeargle hasn't got any investment in special attack though, so it should do, it should do. I'm hoping it does. If it doesn't, we might be in trouble. Aye, it doesn't, lad. Alright, there's the Origin Pulse. Oh, I don't know if Incineroar takes this. Nah, it doesn't, man. Okay, we're probably going to lose this now. Okay, that's something we need to think about on Smeargle, is like, actually, rather than going like timid, yeah, we just lose because like you just switch out the Kyogre into the Ludicolo. Like, yeah, like if we go, because we've got timid max HP, which we don't really need because we got the sash anyway. If we just pump that all into special attack for what we're using Smeargle 4 for transforming, it would make a bit more sense, and maybe there it probably would have made a bit more, would have probably done a bit more damage. And the other option there would have been just Dazzling, so we get the Ferrothorn and just do a good chunk to the Kyogre. We can't, obviously we can't fake out in that situation because of the psychic terrain, but, and of course Ludi avoids, but now the Kyogre just switches in for Ferrothorn, and the Ludi just takes us down. I won't forfeit though. I will allow Milo the pleasure of this victory. You can see your good work in motion. So there we go, there's a Ferrothorn out, Kyogre in, and we're probably just going to see a Grass Knot. It's a safer option, or a Hydro Pump, or a Scald, whatever The Ludi's carrying, and we're going to pick up our first loss. Maybe we got a bit too cocky and we had like, oh, you even gone for the fake out. Not massively necessary, but just being sure, I guess. What was I saying? I don't even know. There's a Scald here. Okay, so good game, Milo. Very good game. Yeah, but geez, yeah, just some things to think about with the team. And this is the thing, like I'll always say it when you're playing a team and you first tested it and you're kind of getting to grips with it. There's always going to be little aspects, and it's the aspects in the games that are really where you're going to improve the team overall. So like the Smeargle thing, I can go back now, go on the damage calculator, see if that would have made any difference. Just like the special attack investment. That makes any difference when I transform, and if it does, then it warrants kind of changing, because like I say with the Focus Sash, you don't necessarily need the HP. I literally just did 252 HP, 252 speed, timid nature, and that was that. So outside of that, we don't really we're not relying on HP investment, defense investment, because we've got the Sash, so we can afford to do that. So that's what I mean, and it's those little key aspects in the games. When you lose, that's what you take away and say, oh, maybe if I'd had that. And then maybe as well, if we just dazzled in that situation, we'll get rid of the Ferrothorn, do a big chunk to the Kyogre. Incineroar, we probably lose both anyway in that situation, so it's really difficult to say otherwise. But yeah, anyway, we've got our next opponent of the episode, King's BB, and playing a team of Lele, Kartana, Xerneas, Amoonguss, Incineroar, and Kyogre. So, Kyogre, Xerneas, got the Lele to get around any sort of fake out support that would help us set up our Xerneas. I think here we probably want to go more down a Bronzong route and go Trick Room. Even though and I think I'm going to lead Coco as well. Like, no, I'm not going to lead Coco. I am going to lead Incineroar. Kind of leaves us a little bit open to now we'll lead Incineroar, bring Groudon, and I'm going to bring Coco. It leaves us open a little bit to a Kyogre leading Incineroar, but I mean I've got the switch into Groudon straight away, so we have got that going for us. Let's see what my opponent leads. We might see the Xerneas lead, but I might leave the Xerneas till late game. But Lele, Kyogre. Okay, so it's Lele, Amoonguss. That's fine. Now, I mean, we've got a pretty safe switch into Coco right now and just Trick Room. And I think that's what I'm going to do. We're not really threatened. We're not Levitate as well, so Bronzong, like, not being Levitate actually takes advantage of the terrain. We'll keep Incineroar in the back for later. But we need to get Coco in right now, otherwise something's going to get spored. Because we can't fake out the Amoonguss, and like I feel like a Flare Blitz the Amoonguss probably takes. So there's the electric terrain, it's always helpful. And then the next time we can try and switch in Groudon. Incineroar coming in, okay. And we could always pull a double switch the next turn, I mean, it's always an option. And then the Moonblast, he'll be into Coco, you've got to imagine. Yeah. There's a trick. Now the Incineroar can fake out here. But I think I still go Gravity, and I just go into I go into Groudon. It's just a bit awkward because bringing Groudon in before the Kyogre hits the field. I mean, my opponent might not have even brought Kyogre. So you know 3 of the 4 Pokemon. But it would make sense that they brought the Kyogre, seeing as we've got Groudon. So I'd imagine what's in the back is going to be the Kyogre. And that's what I mean, it's just a bit uncomfortable bringing it in before the rain's up. We're not going to see Incineroar do anything, like fake out wise. So he's going to go Flare Blitz. It's going to be into the Bronzong, you've got to imagine. Yeah. But because we're heat proof, we take that pretty comfortably. and SOHK into Bronzong as well. So this should just proc our berry, which is ideal. Okay. Well, I guess we can just start Precipice Blading. We can Gyro Ball into the Lele and... So I don't think a Gyro Ball will take the Lele down. So I think we need to double it. So it's just... It makes it a bit awkward for Swords Dancing in this situation. But I'm going to Precipice. And if the Lele switches out, it means that we can potentially make use of Hypnosis. If it comes back in, that's what I mean. Kyogre going to come in. Okay. Do we two-shot the Kyogre with Precipice? If we do, we're in a really nice position. Although the Lele, the next turn, probably switches out for the Intimidate support from the Incineroar. So it means Precipice won't be doing as much damage. I'm going to see Gyro Ball into that Lele. Precipice Blade's coming out. This is where maybe the Swords Dance would have been the better play, if I'm completely honest. We can't put anything to sleep. I can just Gyro Ball, but like the thing is, like Incineroar definitely comes back in on that slot. I kind of want to bring in... Yeah, got to bring in Coco here. Like the game plan right now is going to try and do like all the work we need to before the Trick Room runs out. There's the Lele going out. The Incineroar, yeah. It's going to take a chunk of damage from the Kyogre. It's probably Origin Pulsing. Never know, it might miss. Like to miss. Gyro Ball's not going to do anything to this Incineroar. And there's the Origin Pulse. I wonder if Coco takes it. Like if it does, it's good for the Amoonguss match at the end of the game. For sure. Okay. So Bronzong is going to definitely go down. We can't really do anything about that. And the Coco like really conflicts with what we want to be doing here as well. How many turns of everything we've got? 2. 1 turn of Trick Room, which is not ideal at all. Like we could pull a double switch, and maybe that's not a bad play at all. We just get Incineroar and Groudon in, and then we don't lose anything as well. We shouldn't take too much damage from the Origin Pulse. And then we still got 1 turn of Gravity to make use of our Precipice Blades. And we still got Fake Out, which kind of forces the Lele out as well. Okay, so the Kyogre going straight out. The Amoonguss coming in. Okay. Imagine the Incineroar wants to target down our Incineroar slot, where the Bronzong was, to get rid of that, so there's no more potential Trick Room being set up. There's a knockoff into Incineroar. Okay. Alright, electricity disappears from the field. I'm just going to go straight for a Flare Blitz into the Amoonguss. I'm going to retreat Groudon straight out and bring Coco back in. Because you've got to try and keep Groudon as fresh as possible. But a Flare Blitz in the sun will take the Amoonguss down. It's just whether or not the Incineroar switches out for Kyogre now. So there's Groudon leaving the field. Get the Electric Terrain up with Coco coming in. Incineroar withdraws. It's going to be Kyogre, yeah. So the Amoonguss takes the Flare Blitz and then potentially spores the Groudon. I'd imagine that could be the play. So there we go. There's a Flare Blitz. We're going to do some damage to it regardless, so that's always nice. Grass Knot into the Groudon. Does Coco take it? Nah. But it gives us a free switch into Groudon, which is always like it's where we want to be at the moment. Because we can Precipice And probably knock off into the Amoonguss, because Incineroar will outspeed Groudon. You've got to imagine a Kyogre switches out. And maybe the Amoonguss switches out as well. We might be, yeah, so we knock off the berry and then Precipice should take it down. So Kyogre going back out, Incineroar coming in. Hopefully we can get the Incineroar. Nah, I don't think we do, not from this range. Not -1. Could get the Amoonguss. So we do hit both sides, which is awesome. Okay. And we do proc a berry on the Incineroar. And the Amoonguss. So Groudon does actually outspeed Incineroar, which is not good. So we could have Flare Blitz there. Should have made it a lot easier, and we wouldn't have been taking this grass knot damage. So that's a big mistake on our part, like a huge mistake on our part. All I can do is Flare Blitz and just withdraw Groudon. No, I don't withdraw Groudon just yet, I don't think. Because I want to wait till the Kyogre comes in, because I don't want to just limit all of my options. Like if I switch out to Bronzong now and the Incineroar like attacks Groudon, the Groudon slot takes it down, then we're locked in with our weather. So as long as we've got something in the back, it means that we can kind of try and potentially dictate the weather. Still going to be difficult though with like Incineroar on the field without Protect. So there's the Amoonguss switch coming in Kyogre. You've got to imagine that the Incineroar probably fakes out our Groudon. So if we just made the straightforward play there, like, oh, okay. So no fake out coming out. Oh, we don't get the Incineroar, it's so frustrating. And there's a Flare Blitz, it's not going to be doing enough. I'm going to see a knockoff from the Incineroar. It's Berry Kyogre. Ha. Okay. So that removes our berry, which makes it way more difficult for us. I think we just lose this one, to be honest. Like, I don't really feel like my opponent's still got all 4 Pokemon to maneuver around, so I just don't feel like we've got the tools to kind of win out here, unfortunately. Water Spout. Yeah, more than that. The berry coming in like super clutch, and that's gonna be it, because we can't, like, even though Groudon's like faster than the Kyogre, it's like nowhere near in range for Precipice to take it down, and then Lele just comes in and cleans the Groudon up regardless anyway. So I think Xerneas Smeargle would have been a lot better in this matchup, with maybe Groudon Bronzong is kind of a back mode, to be honest, but it's all a learning curve. Can't really do too much about it now. Yeah, so okay, it's a speed tie, and there's a water spout just to finish us off. So good game to BB King, or King BB, however you have got it. There you go, King's BB. Very good game. And that will wrap up today's episode. A little bit disappointing, but lots of lessons learned, so it's not a waste of time completely. And we'll come back in our next episode a lot stronger. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel today's episode's gone. Any thoughts are always welcome, guys. And we'll wrap things up there. So, like I say, a little bit disappointing. And maybe we could approach both games a little bit differently, but at the same time, it's a learning curve at the minute, isn't it? We're learning how to approach certain games, and like I totally didn't expect the Kyogre to be slow and bulky in this matchup. So that did catch us off guard, but it's something to be aware of going forward. A really nice teams that we featured today from our opponents, so not a waste at all. And we're going to take a lot from it and improve on it, and then go on to our next episode a lot stronger and make sure that we start climbing up this ladder, because that's the whole point of this series, and to find best opponents possible and provide you guys with as best games as possible. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll be back for another episode very soon, so do make sure you tune in. For what time are we uploading? 7 PM, 7:30 PM, I think, is our regular upload. It's been so long since I actually uploaded, I've like completely forgot. But we'll be back for another episode very soon, so stay tuned for that, guys. Until then, take care of yourselves and bye bye.